Those are the prime principles, which you saw before. So the MBA specialization basically requires students to take some of their elective courses with a focus in sustainability courses that we offer to them, 2 of which are required and 2 are electives. 2 required courses are basically an intro to sustainability course, which you might suspect. And then the sustainability practicum basically is students working on a sustainability project for a business. So this is a real problem that a business is wrestling with. We've gone out to the business community and tried to identify those for students to work on. Basically, that's all they do for the course is work on that project. They're serving as consultants to the firm and making a report at the end of the quarter on that project. I'll give you a couple of examples of those in a second. So we ran this course in the spring quarter, and there were 5 different projects, 2 of them with Boeing. One was the feasibility of solar tank production at Boeing. So I don't know exactly what the students recommended, but that's what they worked on. The other was, well, I thought there were 2 at Boeing, I guess not. The next 2 are with a property development firm, a big property development firm in the city. One was on LEED certification for some of their buildings. The other was really transforming the culture of their workplace to, have a more greater concern for sustainability issues and make that kind of one of the core values of the company. Then there's a sustainability sourced wood flooring company. So, for example, bamboo floors and so forth would be their product, and how they could use marketing and social media to expand their scope. And then one was with the Seattle Children's Hospital in terms of what they could do with their employees to minimize their carbon footprint by, reducing their commuting in cars. So those are a couple of examples. In the run-up to that course, we did some independent studies to work the kinks out. You can see the 2 examples there, a couple of carbon footprint studies for local firms. Temco's insurance, Providence is healthcare, Washington Dental is dental insurance, so a mix of firms. And then also on campus, they did some analysis for the campus in terms of what are the options from a financial point in moving to different energy sources and how that interacts with carbon footprint. The other electives that they could choose from, so they have to choose 2. Some of these on the list here. You can see them, I don't have to read them to you. And there's others that they could take with permission, such as a negotiation skills class might be appropriate for a student along that line. So those the 4 courses would constitute the specialization. Now, earlier, I think it was yesterday, sometime someone raised the question of how do you get faculty to do research in areas that are core to the mission? And so I think sustainability would be an example of an area where you want faculty to do that scholarship. So we did a recent survey of that, actually, not just for the business school, but for the university about faculty scholarship. And so, we've identified 12 faculty, the AQ faculty, doing research on some kind of sustainability-related topic. And we have about 50 faculty that would be potentially doing that kind of research. So it's 12 out of about 50. And since 2005, they've published 11 articles and had 20 conference proceedings on sustainability topics, which I'll give you a couple of examples of that. We've also had, to try to get people to think about this, a workshop for faculty on sustainability research that hopefully will catalyze them to do more. And here's just some examples. Most of them are current. I put the bottom one down there. If somebody submitted that, his 1995 article, I suspect the term sustainability wasn't being used in 1995, or if it was being used in a different context. Nevertheless, he submitted it, and I asked him about it, and it's true. It's really is something that you could classify as sustainability. So he was a man ahead of his time, I guess. But anyway, it was about how to market, how sustainability could be helped with the brand, building the brand of the company. Just some other things we've done. You know, we've had various, this is a different panel discussion than the other one I mentioned, bringing people in from the community that are active in sustainability to meet with faculty and staff around those issues. So this particular one had somebody from an accounting firm because they're starting to do sustainability audits. The Port of Seattle is very big into sustainability because they have ships sitting there in the harbor and they're trying to figure out how they don't have to run their smokestacks and pollute the air while they're sitting there in the harbor, right? So it's a very important issue for them. And then in 2009, spring of 2009, we organized a conference called Working Collaboratively for Sustainability, Learning from Failure and Success. And it was actually targeted to bring together business, government, and nonprofits, and venture capital people around the topic of sustainability. Many of the people obviously came from the Seattle area, but we tried to get people from other parts of the world, and we succeeded in that. Interesting thing is one of the speakers refused to fly from London to speak. He's very devout, apparently, very committed to sustainability. He didn't want to get in an airplane because of that carbon footprint, so we had to have him come on a projection screen. So that might be something that's going to happen more and more in the future of these meetings. Anyway, I think that is my last slide, so those are just a few things that we're doing. Thank you.